Have you ever wondered what happens when the bathroom door clicks shut, the deadbolt slides into place, and the mask finally drops? You think they're just washing their face, but you're actually hearing the sound of a carefully constructed reality being dismantled. It's the one place where they don't have to perform for anyone, yet they're still obsessed with the character they play. We assume that privacy is for relaxation, but for the narcissist, it's a tactical retreat. Think about that silence behind the door, the long stretches where you swear they're doing something, but they're just staring at their own reflection. It isn't about hygiene, it's about recalibrating their image. They're studying themselves, making sure the armor is still polished and sharp. You've likely felt that unease, that gut level knowing that something is happening behind that locked door which doesn't quite add up. It's not just a bathroom break, it's a theater of one. They aren't resting. They are preparing. They are counting the cost of their performance today and calculating how they'll extract more supply from you the moment they step back out into the light. When the bathroom door locks, the world they control outside the frame ceases to exist. They are alone with the only person they truly love and the only person they truly despise, themselves. It's a strange, claustrophobic loop of self-admiration and intense self-loathing. You aren't just hearing water running. You are hearing the echo of their deep, hollow, and endless void. I want you to step inside that space with me today, metaphorically speaking, to uncover the secrets they keep hidden in plain sight. This isn't meant to make you feel paranoid, but rather to give you the clarity you've been denied for so long. When you understand the vanity and the frantic, internal mechanics of their solitude, you finally start to see the cracks in their illusion. Why does this matter? Because seeing the narcissist in their private, unmasked state is the ultimate antidote to the gaslighting you've endured. When you realize the obsessive nature of their private time, you stop seeing them as a powerful, untouchable force. You begin to see them as someone desperately trapped in a cycle of maintenance, terrified that the real them might be seen. We aren't talking about quirks here. We are talking about compulsive, revealing habits that speak volumes about their internal state. When they are in that bathroom, they aren't just grooming, they are auditing. They are checking the stats on their influence, replaying conversations, and rehearsing their next move. It is a calculated, cold, and deeply insecure way to spend time. Imagine the sheer exhausting weight of having to be someone else for every waking moment. That's their reality. The bathroom is their sanctuary, not for peace, but for the grueling labor of identity management. They can't just exist. They have to manage the perception of their existence. And that, my friend, is where the cracks begin to show if you know how to look for them. As we dive into these 8 secret habits, I want you to keep one thing in mind. None of this is about you. Even when they're in there obsessing, it's all about the preservation of their fragile construct. Understanding this helps you detach from the story they sold you. You are an audience member to a play they wrote to save their own skin, but you don't have to be a pawn anymore. Are you ready to look behind the curtain? Let's strip away the mystery and expose the mundane, frantic, and often pathetic truth of what they do when they think no one is watching. By the end of this, the bathroom door won't hold the same intimidating power over you. You will understand that behind that door, there is no magic, only a person desperately trying to keep it together. So, what is actually happening when they linger in there for hours? First, they are locked in a cycle of intensive self-evaluation. It's not about looking good, it's about confirming that they are who they pretend to be. They check the mirror, adjusting their expression. They are practicing empathy, looking for the right face to wear to manipulate you later. It is purely functional. Secondly, they use that time to rehearse their scripts. You've noticed how they always seem to have the perfect, cutting response in an argument? That's not a natural wit. That is the product of hours spent in front of the mirror, playing out hypothetical fights. They are preparing their defenses and sharpening their insults, making sure they never lose the upper hand in your home. Third, consider the phone usage. They aren't just scrolling, they are harvesting supply. They are checking messages from other sources, comparing their current status, and ensuring their backups are intact. If you've wondered why they suddenly seem refreshed or energized after a long session in the bathroom, it's because they've just finished a virtual replenishment of their ego. Fourth, they obsessively monitor their reflection for aging or imperfections. This sounds vain, but it's actually about control. They view their face as a tool, a weapon of influence. Any perceived flaw is a threat to their perceived superiority. They are constantly repairing the structural integrity of their mask, terrified that you might eventually see the decay underneath. Fifth, they take inventory of the household. Yes, even in the bathroom, they are calculating. They are reviewing what they have left to exploit, what resources they've secured, and where you stand in their scheme. It's a tactical pause. They are assessing the battlefield of your relationship, ensuring that every piece is exactly where they want it for the next phase of play. Sixth, there is the practice of smear campaigns in progress. They often send texts or make calls from that private space to triangulate you against others. They are building a narrative, piece by piece, while they sit in solitude. It's a way of feeling in control of reality itself, even when they're sitting on a porcelain throne. They are the puppet master behind the door. Seventh, they are managing their own boredom. A narcissist cannot sit with their own thoughts. They must fill the silence with noise, drama, or planning. The bathroom is a quiet place that triggers their inner emptiness, so they fill it with constant, frenetic motion. If they aren't looking at a screen, they are likely talking to themselves, narrating their own internal drama. Eighth, they are simply hiding. Sometimes, the mask is so heavy that they just need a break from you. It's not that they don't love you, they don't know how, but they are exhausted by the effort of pretending to be normal. They retreat to the bathroom because it is the only place they can let the facade slide, even for just a few minutes, before they have to put it back on again. Can you see how these actions are all about survival? It's not survival in the way you understand it, but the survival of their false self. They are desperate, hollow, and constantly working to keep the house of cards from collapsing. Once you strip away the mystery, the behavior isn't sophisticated or genius. It is repetitive, shallow, and frankly, a bit tragic to witness. You aren't being paranoid for noticing these patterns. Your intuition has been trying to tell you that something is off because the reality they present doesn't match the behavior they hide. They want you to think they are effortless, naturally charming, or just private. But the truth is, their existence is a performance that requires constant, secret rehearsals in the dark. The power shift happens the moment you start observing these patterns without emotion. Imagine them in there, frantically refreshing a screen or practicing a sneer in the mirror. It takes the wind out of their sails, doesn't it? They aren't the mysterious, brooding figure you thought they were. They are a person with a chore list, struggling to maintain a very fragile illusion. This is the turning point for you. When you see the behavior for what it is, a series of insecure, repetitive actions, you stop being the victim of their games. You become the observer of their dysfunction. They aren't in control, they are being driven by their own needs. That realization is the first crack in the foundation of the hold they have on your mind and your spirit. Let's look at the mirror rehearsal habit. You walk in, and they quickly change their expression. That flash of panic? That's not because they were doing something wrong. It's because they were caught without their mask. They don't want you to see the blank, empty slate that resides underneath the persona. You are witnessing the raw, unfiltered fear of being truly known by you. Then there's the secret phone scrolling. They act as if they are handling important business, but we know it's often trivial. They're seeking validation, arguing with strangers, or grooming a new target. When you challenge them, they deny it with such conviction that you doubt your senses. But the frequency of these long, silent breaks is a data point you can no longer ignore. Consider the audible sighs and mumbling. You hear them talking to themselves, practicing how they will dismiss your feelings or gaslight you later. They are building the script for their next performance. You aren't crazy for hearing them, you're just hearing the prep work. The fact that they have to practice shows they don't actually believe their own lies, they are testing them. What about the extended grooming? It's rarely about hygiene. It's about perfectionism. They are preparing for battle. Every hair, every outfit choice, every subtle smirk is calculated to have an impact. They treat their appearance like a costume for a play. If you ever feel like you're dealing with a stranger, it's because the person you see is a manufactured product. The most revealing habit is the sudden change in mood. They go in angry, stressed, and frantic. They come out calm, cool, and collected. They've offloaded their negative energy onto their devices or the mirror, and now they are ready to act the part of the happy partner. It's an act of emotional alchemy. They are transmuting their own internal chaos into your new reality. Then there is the information hoarding. They often use these quiet moments to organize the secrets they've collected about you. They are cataloging your vulnerabilities, remembering your past mistakes, and preparing to use them as ammunition when the time is right. It's a dark, cold, and calculated way to treat a partner, yet it is their standard operating procedure in private. Lastly, the silent treatment prep. They are deciding how to punish you before they even step out of the room. They are weighing their options, deciding how cold to be, how long to withhold affection, and how to make you apologize for something you didn't do. They are crafting the punishment while you sit on the couch, waiting for them to emerge, wondering what you did wrong. Seeing these patterns, you start to realize the sheer effort it takes to be a narcissist. It is a full-time job. And you? You were just the person standing in the way of their production. When you can detach and view these actions objectively, you lose the fear. You stop asking, why me, and start seeing, this is them. It is the beginning of your freedom from their influence. The mask is heavy. When they are in that bathroom, they are carrying the weight of 1,000 lies. And eventually, the weight becomes too much to bear. You will start to see the consequences of this lifestyle. They are tired. They are irritable. They are prone to sudden, inexplicable bursts of rage because the effort of keeping the facade in place is draining their very soul. They are caught in a paradox. The more they try to control their image, the less control they have over their own lives. They spend so much time worrying about how they are perceived that they forget to actually live. Their life becomes a series of snapshots for others to admire, while they feel nothing inside. It is a lonely, empty existence that they are desperate to escape. You see the cracks in their behavior when they come out of the room. They are not genuinely present. They are looking past you, scanning for reactions, waiting for feedback. They need you to mirror back their importance. If you don't give it to them, they retreat back to their sanctuary to recalibrate. It's a vicious cycle that will continue as long as you play the role. The consequences for you are profound. You begin to feel like a prop in their play. You are there to provide reactions, to offer validation, to be the target of their frustrations. You aren't a partner, you are an audience. And that is why you feel so drained. You are giving your life force to someone who can only consume it, never truly reciprocating the love you provide. Their private bathroom habits are the perfect metaphor for the relationship as a whole. A closed door, a locked space, and a performer doing whatever it takes to keep the show going. They don't want you to see the mess, the frustration, or the emptiness. They want you to see the finished product. But the truth is, the product is an illusion, and you are exhausted by the lie. When they emerge, they expect you to play along with the scene. If you aren't ready to play your part, they get angry. It's not because you did anything wrong, it's because you didn't follow the script they spent an hour writing in the bathroom. They need you to be predictable, obedient, and silent. Anything else is an insult to the reality they have so carefully constructed. This is the dark reality of a narcissist's life. They are the prisoner of their own ego. They have to constantly perform, constantly check the mirror, constantly manage the narrative. There is no off switch. There is no moment of genuine peace. Every moment is a performance, and every performance is a test of their endurance. It is a tragedy that they cannot break free from. And you? You have the luxury of being real. You have the freedom to be flawed, to be tired, to be human. You don't need a locked door to maintain a false identity. You are allowed to be yourself. This is the ultimate power you have over them. They might be able to control the room, but they can never control the truth. And the truth is, you are stronger than their illusion. It is painful to realize this, but it is also liberating. The person you thought you knew was a mirror, reflecting your own goodness back at you. But behind the mirror, there was only a scared, insecure person who couldn't handle the light. You weren't in love with them, you were in love with the reflection they gave you. And now, you are finally waking up from that spell. Don't waste your energy feeling sorry for them, but don't waste it being angry either. Understand that this is how they survive, in their own broken, twisted way. You don't have to be part of the show anymore. You can step off the stage. You can open the door and walk out. You don't owe them an audience. You owe yourself a life that is authentic, real, and truly your own. So, where does this leave you? It leaves you with the power of perspective. The next time that bathroom door closes, don't feel the old familiar anxiety. Don't wonder what they're doing. Let them be in there, trapped in their cycle, busy with their meaningless, frantic rehearsals. You are not a pawn in their game anymore. You are a sovereign person, free from the script. True healing starts with reclaiming your attention. All that energy you spent trying to decode their moods, trying to satisfy their needs, and trying to be the perfect audience member? Redirect it inward. Focus on your own growth, your own interests, and your own peace. You are not responsible for their ego. You are only responsible for your own happiness and well-being. Stop looking at them for validation. Stop waiting for them to tell you who you are or how you're doing. They don't have the capacity to see you because they are too busy looking at themselves. That is a hard truth, but it's also a gift. Once you accept that they cannot give you what you need, you stop begging at their table and start feeding yourself elsewhere. You are not alone in this. Millions of people have walked this path, have realized the truth, and have found their way out of the fog. Your story is not unique, and that is a source of strength. You are part of a community that understands the confusion, the pain, and the ultimate triumph of waking up. Reach out to those who truly see you and understand your experience. The change you need won't happen overnight, and that is okay. Be gentle with yourself. You have been living under the weight of their illusion for a long time. It takes patience to peel back the layers, to unlearn the habits of survival, and to reconnect with your own voice. Trust that you have the strength to do this, step by step, day by day, until the fog clears. Remember that you are valuable not because of what you can provide to a narcissist, but because of who you are. Your worth is intrinsic, not dependent on their approval. When you start living from this place of grounded self-worth, their games lose their power. They can try to pull you back in, but you will see them for what they are, a person trapped in a mirror. The future is yours to build. It's a future that isn't dictated by their moods, their scripts, or their secret, frantic routines. It's a future defined by your own choices, your own passions, and your own authentic connections. You have a voice that deserves to be heard, not silenced by the fear of their reaction. Start using it even if your hands shake at first. As you move forward, let the memory of those moments, the locked door, the silence, the realization, be a reminder of why you are doing this. You aren't doing it to hurt them, you are doing it to save yourself. You are choosing your own sanity over their performance. And that is the most courageous, the most loving, and the most necessary decision you will ever make. You have been through fire, but you are not defined by the burns. You are defined by your ability to stand up, to see the truth, and to walk toward a life that feels honest. You are not a supporting character in someone else's play, you are the lead in your own. Take the stage, own your story, and let the rest of the world see who you truly are without the mask. The door is open now, and you don't have to look back. The secret is out, the facade is broken, and you are finally ready to step into the light. Hold on to this knowledge, trust your gut, and remember that the most beautiful, authentic, and powerful version of you is waiting on the other side of your choice to leave the performance behind. You are finally truly free.